host EsperHubb. How are you doing today, Hub?
I'm doing all right. Thank you very much for having me.
You excited to watch these racers?
It's been a while, but I feel like with it being the Mentor tournament, this is actually the first race I'm going to be commentating for this tournament. So with it being week one, I feel like that's like the initial first impressions of both of our runners. So it's going to be pretty exciting to see how they square up with one another.
I agree. So the way this tournament works, for those of you that aren't already aware, is that each runner has with them a mentor. And so our runners, on one side we've got Zethno, and his mentor is Espeon. And then on the other side we've got MrAaronSnerd, and his mentor is vortexofdoom.
Yep, with the mentors on their sidelines, our runners will be going through the seed, relating information, pondering of what action to take with their mentor, and then based on the interaction between the two, we'll be seeing like some things that they'll try to learn or will demonstrate to us what they have learned throughout the first week, but it's gonna be pretty interesting.
Yeah, we can see how useful the boots camp was. That's something that was pretty exciting.
If y'all weren't here the week before this mentors tournament started, we had a boot camp to showcase a lot of what the randomized seed will provide and what you can do, the glitches, the routing, the decisions that you can make. It was definitely a very, very good digest of how you can effectively speed run Links to the Past randomized.
Yeah, something that a lot of people are going to get out of it is boss strategies. They went over a lot of the quick kills. They went over a lot of the low percent strats. Another thing is like general glitches and tricks and stuff like that. So like setting up water walks and doing your fake flippers and stuff like that. Everybody has gotten that information from any of the races, and so we're gonna get to see how much they get to put to use in there.
So speaking of which, for our race today, what are our runners running under the current settings for this week?
I'm not sure, but I know how to check. It is open, assured surge, 7-7 defeat game.
So yeah, this is a pretty casual opening. Yeah, sure. A short sword will allow our runners to, at the very least, go through the escape sequence, which I'm pretty sure they have to go through the escape sequence if it's standard. Wait, you said standard or open? Open, right?
Yeah, it's open.
Oh, okay. But yeah, okay. Yeah, sure will allow them, if they really want to go through the opening sequence, the escape sequence, to see what they can get from there. Or they can just go ahead and skip to that and go to Sanctuary and then check out Kakariko at a very early state. While we wait for our runners to begin, I just want to comment that it's definitely been a year since I started speedrunning, and it feels like we have come full circle into into doing this, because now I'm kind of mentoring as well along with you, and you was like my first mentor when I decided to pick up on this tournament.
Yeah, I remember that. You had really good decision making. That was it made my job really easy. Because I was like, have you done this? Okay.
Well, I think it kind of also stemmed from I took a little bit of time to do my homework during those times, so it felt like I needed a little bit more in-depth information in doing so, especially doing one of the skips in Dark World where you can cross the river by doing fake flippers. Yeah, I didn't think of that one.
Yeah, there's a couple different ways. You can do the bomb jump, where you get off to the side from that little lip, and you bomb jump yourself off screen into the water, and you fake flipper. Or you can set up a boots water walk at School Woods with one of the openings there, and then you can run all the way over that way.
So something I kind of seeing in chat right now is like, are we going to get some huge divergence in our routes today between the two runners? I feel like we are. One person is definitely going to go into though I could be completely wrong. Both of them could be doing Kakariko start instead of Uncle.
Yeah, there's a few different ways to start. The two most common, which is probably what we will see, is you go straight up, check for bombs on the tree pole, do Uncle, and since you have the sword, go through escape. At least the first half of it. And if you're comfortable with the dark part, you can do it too. The other common way is, start at Sanctuary, go straight to CAC, check Lumberjack, go through the woods, all that jazz. There's a couple other ways. If you start at Link's house, you can go down and check the dam, trying to find bombs first. Generally, that's pretty low percent, though. You can also start at Link's house and go into Campus Upway, and you are sure to get bombs because there's bushes there that have a 50% chance, and you could just walk off screen and walk back and farm bombs for a minute.
Yeah, I was just about to mention the 50-50 at the oh man, what did they call that area again? But it's before the fluke kit. But yeah, the having knowledge of locations like that definitely helps out a lot, especially when you first start off. Like, you have to make sure you get some rupees to either buy bombs or do the bottle merchant check, and then of course you probably going to need a lot more rupees to go through to progress through the rest of the checks through the rest of the seed. Some of those include doing Zora Lake, doing the digging game, which is in the Dark World, the treasure game, which is also in the Dark World, and then you also have the entrance fee for the Palace of Darkness, which is 110 rupees altogether. So yeah, like at the very start of the seed, money will be a major logic point for our runners to try to amass. Though I feel like with the way how some chess logic works, it feels like you eventually will come across it, especially if the seed definitely dictates that you need to go to those areas to check those out because they may have major progression items.
Yeah, in total, you need just over 800 rupees to check all of that stuff.
Yeah, and a little change after that, you can save that for safety checks. Well, not safety checks, but safety strats, like buying blue potions or red or green, or like in case you really do need more bombs, you can go use that money to get some more bombs and whatnot. Or if you're playing retro, you will have to use that kind of money for keys.
Yeah, keys, you have to buy the arrows. allow somebody to shoot arrows. But I don't think we're playing any of that in this turn. God, I hope.
Yeah, thank goodness for that. I wouldn't put the new runners to the paces of a retro seed, especially like at this early of the tournament. That'll be kind of rude.
All right, it looks like our runners are just about ready.
So yeah, once again, to iterate the settings of this seed, it will be standard items. It's open, assured sword, and defeat Ganon. 7 crystals to make Ganon vulnerable. 7 crystals to open up Ganon's tower. Pretty straightforward seed with the assured sword. It may incentivize our runners to go do the escape sequence first, or could allow them to do some other tomfoolery, which is probably what we can see. But looks like our runners are about to get locked in and ready to go.
Fun thing, that assured sword, we found out the first year of this tournament that there's a higher chance that you're going to roll an Aga seed. So there's a decent chance we're going to see Aga.
Yeah, but the sure telltale sign for an Aga seed, though, is if you picked up a lantern and moon pearl on the way and like another sword upgrade. That's when we know. That's when we start to see the big signs of an Aga seed happening.
Yeah, quite often when you see just the sword upgrade, you're like, and it's an Aga seed.
Like how I said, and every time I have commentated in any kind of race, nothing is guaranteed, and we are underway. We are going to get our divergence today,
and bombs right out the gate.
I'm pretty sure MrAaronSnerd is going to be very, very, very happy about those bombs, but probably after he goes through the escape sequence. Meanwhile, Zethno is going to take the Kakariko opening.
I wonder if he's going to use the boomerang to check the stun prize down nearby.
Yeah, how stun prize work is you have to stun the enemy through either the use of the blue boomerang, red boomerang, and the or the hook shot, and then you just kill them as usual. But as we see from Uncle, we get a bow and arrow. That is a huge find at the start. That means that if Eastern is a crystal, our runner might be more inclined to go ahead to Eastern first before even doing the Kakariko checks.
Yeah, especially with that tree pole being arrows. He's already got ammo. Also, the stun prize was just a...
Yeah,
it looks like Zethno is skipping the lumberjack.
Yeah, usually with lumberjack, looking through the lumberjack ledge for information on what it could potentially be in there. Usually, most runners don't really opt to do it until they get boots and they exhaust most of their checks. But at that point, they're more inclined to do Aga 1 before checking lumberjack if that's the case.
And so far, Kakariko's not yielded much. I think the bow is the biggest item we've seen so far.
MrAaronSnerd is going through the escape sequence pretty well. Excellent use of the boomerang right there, grabbing that key before he transitioned through the door. But he did pick up a map very early in this, I believe the first chest. So I think we're going to have an item in Dark Cross at this point.
Yeah, it's either a key or a that use of the boomerang you mentioned is an NMG strat. See, he's trying to set up a death warp.
So,
And he decides to save and quit.
which is probably a very smart move because we saw on Zentho's side, not only that Zentho picked up the gauntlet in the Kakariko Well, he also picked up the Titans and Master Sword. That's kind of wild to come across huge progression items at the very start of the Kakariko village. Like, he was worried about it not being much, but then lo and behold, Kakariko Well had our items to go for.
Yeah. That'll give MrAaronSnerd here chemical access pretty soon. He also looks like he's not going to be checking it. But right now, we are a lamp away from Hammer potentially being in Lumberjack, or not in Lumberjack, in Pyramid Fairy.
We did get a peep into the library, and that was our flippers. So if Swamp Palace is a crystal requirement, as a crystal dungeon, we're gonna need some boots in order to get access to that. But from the looks of it, once MrAaronSnerd is gonna finish up his checks in Kakariko, he's definitely gonna dive into the Dark World at this. Well, he could if our runner, if our mentor, throws that out there that he could do Dark World access from there. But let's find out.
Yeah, I would say it's pretty likely that he would check race game and then go up and go to the Dark World. Without the mirror, it's unlikely that he would go into the Dark World and not finish Kakariko.
Meanwhile, Zentho is taking a look at South Shore. He's gonna go in the dam and do some more checks there for us. So we're gonna find out what's gonna lie in those checks as we get a tempered sword in the dam's chest. Our runners are going to be at full power for their sword pretty soon if this keeps up.
Yeah, that's a lot of swords, really. And there's Dark World access for MrAaronSnerd at 6 minutes and 7 seconds. With 3 hearts. That's gotta be huge.
Yeah, it's really huge, but also it could be really risky to go into Dark World because you're still on Green Mel. Like, if you go into Dark World and get hit like at least once, that could be just the end of that little excursion to check out the area.
Yeah, I'm actually really surprised that he didn't finish off Kakariko before lifting up that rock. And that was a hefty, long map check, making it easy for the trackers. So we have a red crystal at Desert, Aura is a pendant, another red crystal at Hut, Ice Palace is our green pendant, and Misery Mire is our other pendant.
Yeah, with Turtle Rock being a crystal, that means we'll be doing the ice run hunt. But the moment I was about to mention that Zentho found the ice rod in the mini Modrum cave, so we're not gonna have to worry about finding that. Just finding any more like hard to look for items that kind of become a common norm here. Just gotta look for the rest of the stuff to get their go mode going.
And Zethno really trying to avoid going to escape right now. And he finds the hook shot. That is a good item.
I feel like there's something to be said about doing checks like that, like as for your opener, like doing checks like that instead of like immediately going into that, paying off very well. Because now we come to a part where how long will it take for MrAaronSnerd to go back to the light world and start doing checks from there to get to where Zethno's going with as far as knowledge goes.
So it's worth pointing out that once Zethno gets Dark Princess, he's going to have more options because he has more items. The hook shot is going to also give him access to EDM, so he'll be able to go up there, and there's all kinds of things that can be over there. He's gonna have more options, I guess, once he gets Dark World access. He may not necessarily go there. And MrAaronSnerd opting to do the mirrorless Smith chip.
He's gonna take our friend Steve around the tour of the Dark World. More likely, he's gonna do Hype Cave, Stumpy, which we're about to see right now, and then Pyramid Ledge. Oh wait, no, they can't do Pyramid Ledge because they ain't got the hammer.
No hammer, no flippers, and they need the boots to get the flippers because we already saw those. This actually is a good play because he skipped half of Kakariko. Now he has an excuse to go back and do the rest of Kakariko without this taking up too much.
And once he does, and he'll probably take a look at South Shore and hopefully catch up to the item checks that Cinaeth has, which has some huge progression going on here. And we get from Hype Cave a piece of heart. Going into the back here, we're gonna get 10 arrows, 20 rupees, a piece of heart, and 20 more rupees. I want a refund on this Hype Cave.
Very hype. It's looking like EDM might actually be the place to go. Unless the Smith has something.
There's also something. Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say it looks like he's going in through the back.
Yeah, it looks like he is gonna. Since he picked up the key, he feel like something is in Dark Cross, so he's gonna take a Death Warp, which saves you a lot of time getting back to the entrance of a dungeon, or in this case, the Hyrule Castle, to get to the back end of Escape. Now, Zethno does not have the lantern, but with enough practice, you can kind of explore and push through Dark Cross without the need of a lantern, as you can use the Sword Twinkle when you charge it up to guide you the way through.
Yeah, and if you know what the rooms look like, so this is the rope room. You can see that outline right there. And then he'll be going into the Dark Cross right here. If you know where the rooms they are, it's really easy to get through them.
Lining himself up against the wall just to look to see if he can come across the chest, and he's gonna eventually bump across it soon enough. It takes a bit of time, but once you find out, you can just do it just like that, and that was just a piece of heart. That is one less check that he doesn't have to worry about, but did take some time to get to it. But checks are checks. If you can get one done and out the way, that's just another thing off your shoulders to last location with for.
Yeah, there's all kinds of tricks to open that chest because it kind of just sits in the middle, like in an open area. So it's not, the easiest thing to get to. I was surprised he didn't use his hook shot to grab it so that he could center himself on it and walk around side. If you have the boots, you can just bonk against that torch, and it'll put you right in front of the chest. You just walk.
Okay, this is what I was gonna say. Like, both of our runners have bows. They could finish Eastern Palace at any point in time, and it looks like Zenthos is picked. Either Espeon suggested him that doing Eastern Palace right now would be a good idea, or Zenthos already picked up on the thought of just going ahead and doing it, and to go ahead and see if they can find any items that they can further progress with.
Yeah, I personally would have done Eastern Palace before I did CAC in the situation where I found the bow. Well, I guess in the situation where MrAaronSnerd found the bow, I would have gone to Eastern immediately. It's not hard to do on 3 hearts. It's a crystal. There's 3 items here. Plus, you can check soft. It's a money play from a just a straight number. And
Yeah, that is. Oh, go ahead.
I didn't see what was in that chest, but I saw what was in that one. That was Ether, and then that was also the book on the Zethno side.
So with the book that allows Zentho to check the tablets once he has the ability to get access to get to those tablets. And I would like to think that this is with the hook shot in tow, he can skip a room in the Eastern Palace just to get to this, to get us some more cane.
Nice.
That is very great to find. Allows you to do a few door extension skips, but not only that, but brings them a step closer to finishing up Turtle Rock.
Yeah. That also puts Desert into play, at least the front of it. I'm not sure how up on that play you would be, because but if you had a fire source, you could potentially be doing the back of it too.
Question remains of where that fire source would be, because logically speaking, Death Mountain is not in logic because we do not have the lantern just yet. But we could break the logic to go into there to take a look to see if the lantern's there. And if that's the case, then Flute is floating around in either the dark world or a little bit of the light world. Perhaps Aga's cave, which is in the Desert Palace. So that's something to always like consider as far as like trying to figure out the logic, as well as figuring out what potentially could be locked behind that logic.
Yeah, trying to find that lamp or a fire source. I would be inclined to go up Death Mountain. I think the 7 checks over on EDM, well worth it.
Yeah, I agree.
Plus, you also get Old Man, and you can check the cave and jump down and then cross over. Spectacle Rock Cave. I couldn't think of that name. So while we're not finding any items right here, I want to give a shout out to our trackers. They are doing a great job. And they are solastsummer and Filistea. I think I pronounced that wrong.
And don't forget to give a follow to our Restreamer, Cinaeth, for providing us the needed setup to showcase this footage. Will showcase this race to everyone that's watching right now on Twitch.
Alright, so now that MrAaronSnerd has his third sword, he is still only on 4 hearts, but it makes the dark look less daunting. But I don't think Zethno's even set foot in the dark.
No, he has not set foot in there just yet, but I feel like Zentho's gonna do it once he finishes exhausting the light world checks, because with that book he can, like I said, like you said, you could check Desert Palace, but without a fire source or boots, it may be locked behind those two. But our fire source and boots could potentially be in Eastern Palace. I mean, Desert Palace. We're already in Eastern Palace. In fact, Zenthos just now cleared it, and of course it was a map, and that's our first crystal for the seed, clocking in at 18 minutes.
That technically puts him in the lead, even though I don't really feel like anyone's in the lead right now. But that is one objective cleared for. I'm actually trying to think how many spots are left that we haven't seen. Zora's in Logic. He just checked Agina. There might actually be something in Desert.
Yeah, I will have to agree. Like, it has to be something in Desert, or it has to be something in Zora's domain. Zora domain could potentially give us boots, and that means we have to go all the way back to the library to get that, and then go back into Zora domain to check Waterfall Ferry and Zora's Ledge in order to see if we can get some items going. But it looks like Zentho's gonna do a little bit of what I like to call logic degeneracy and skip some logic and go ahead straight into here to get into the Death Mountain without the need of the lantern. Now, I feel like Death Mountain doing it without the lantern is like the first easiest thing you could dark room that you can probably clear without much issue.
Yeah, I would agree. I would put the Death Mountain climb, or the Death Mountain, I guess, Darkway, on the same level as the back of Eastern. Easiest dark rooms to do. Baby steps, you know. He seems to know it pretty well, though. He just...
We'll probably have to thank Espeon for that one, because I feel like with the guidance of our mentors, our runners have a little bit more knowledge in Toad, or at the very least, some helpful advice from our mentors to plan out what action that they need to do for the seed.
Yeah. So you also have to keep in mind any progression up here is out of logic, and so you have to keep in mind that whatever you find up here may be out of logic by the flute, which is a relatively it is not needed.
Yeah, flute or lantern in order to get access to Death Mountain. But yeah, like I said before, if that is the case, then flute or lantern has to be in an easy area for you to get into that our runners have yet to do. And like you said, they haven't checked Zora and they haven't checked Desert just yet, so it could be in either of those two places.
That bottle, though, does open up 6.
Meanwhile,
yeah, and as our tracker points out, not our Sit Kid is either lamp or flute blocker. Actually, I think it's lamp block because you got a flute. Yeah, lamp lock. But that was a mirror, and that's the second bow. So now he can go do Hera, although I'm not sure how up on that he would be, because that's a pendant. Ooh, and he missed the bomb jump.
Small time loss for the bomb jump, but I feel like if you fail this one, you might as well just go ahead and get leave and then go ahead through the normal way of Paradox Cave. But it looks like they're taking another swing at it and successfully leaps over there with a nice bomb jump.
And MrAaronSnerd gets his what's up, sick kid? Man, this is all lamp lock. There's a lot of lamp lock stuff up in here.
Yeah, I was just about to say, like, lamp has to be in the obvious spot, and our runners are probably gonna like feel very, very. They might get a little tense after finding out that they did not do a 0 tier check of some sort, and it comes out to be a lamp being or the fire rod being there.
Yeah. So either the lamp or flute is either in Zora or desert. Something is. Oh yeah, we actually haven't seen the back. Now that chat mentions it. MrAaronSnerd backed out of there. He probably did not feel safe on this seed, by the way, very stingy with health.
Yeah, this is like, it's been a while since I've seen low health this far into this. Well, to be fair, it's only 24 minutes, but being this deep into the seed with the huge amount of progression they got, I feel like that's why it's so offset, to be honest. They did find Titan's Mint Moon Pearl very early into the seed, and like bows, a lot of swords, hook shot, no less. But yeah, they got like a lot of useful progression, and they're doing their best to use each and every one of them to see if they could come across more progression or the progression they needed to make things into logic. But the season's not really giving them a bone for that one, and I feel like soon enough they're gonna start checking the less effort needed spots to see if that's the case.
Yeah, so we're getting a hookshot cave here. So this is why I was thinking sequence breaking the mountain was... Oh, and there's a fire rock. Now we can go do desert. And bombos! We could even sequence break and go to Green Pendant Ice Palace.
Yeah.
But there are so many checks up here when you have a big shot. The sequence break, and that is required for PR. Be under the mat style.
That is some insane checks going on here.
But that mirror also allows him to get across to go check the tablet, and then he can jump down, and if he really wants to brave it, I don't think he can get through it though. He could try Spike Cave.
Maybe if they have like full health and perhaps something in the bottle, but I don't think they'll be able to get through it with that less hearts, especially when they don't have even if they don't, like, even with Kate and Brianna or the Kate, I feel like they need some amount of hearts in order to take some spike damage in order to lift the stone up successfully and get to the item check there.
Yeah, it's not in logic. And Zethno going for the Aeropot, something we watched him practice earlier. So he's doing this even though he has the big key, because it is faster. Whether or not you get the big key, it's just faster.
I have seen so many ways into setting up this Aeropot, and all of them are very entertaining to see. I'm not gonna lie. I think when I was first doing my runs, I lined myself up with 2 bombs in order to get to the Harapot.
Yeah, I just don't do it unless I have boots. It's too much of a hassle. Just do basic.
Yeah, all those sub-pixels. MrAaronSnerd is took an unfortunate death, but hopefully that does not go too costly. I wonder if zethno knows that he could just use the hookshot to get. Oh wait, no, right? Yeah, he did it right. Okay, I was about to say like he could have just hookshot there, and then I realized, oh wait, that's right. The hookshotting there would trigger the pit trap.
Yeah, that's something else. I'll just drop down. I'm not good with setting up the bomb.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. You can actually bomb jump that, but it takes like very weird time, and especially with the spark trying to chase you around the chest. And 2 spins from the tempered means Morty goes down very quickly, though you just only need 1 spin and 1 slash at it, but that's just about it. And it looks like there is something. I'm not sure about the item count, but I definitely know for sure if there's because I know we pulled up the map and I know we pulled up the compass from Mort, and we have the big key. Something is definitely in Hera basement.
Yeah, so yeah, there's an item in the basement. It does not look like it is out of logic, because we got the fire rod up here on the although I guess everything is up.
Yeah, everything up here is out of logic. Even the even the vending machine is out of logic at this point.
It looks like though MrAaronSnerd is going to see what that 500 rupee drop is worth.
Taking a quick detour to take a look on the Hyrule Lake. They're going further in, so they're gonna do hobo check as well.
Alright, so when you do hobo check, if you line yourself up with that campfire, you can jump all the way off screen and land yourself in a fake flipper.
Unfortunately, he gets more bombs for his efforts, and I think he's okay. There he goes. He's able to re-enter now.
All right, and will we see zethno complete the back of these two?
He could do it, but I feel like with the lack of hammer in our inventory today, our mentor may advise him not to do that just yet. But you know, we have gone super deep out of logic that we might as well just go ahead and go in there.
Yeah.
Oh man.
So until we find hammer, this is technically still an Agassiz. Because we don't have any way over there logically. We don't have the hammer to knock down the pegs. We have no flippers to cross.
Oh yeah, that's right.
So until we find flippers or hammer, this is an Agassiz.
We get another bottle on Zora's Ledge, so I don't think our runner is going to be too keen into getting to that one, but let's definitely take a look to see what Zora has for us. It could be boots, it could be lantern. Only one way to find out, and that is to pay up. We could get scammed though. There's a high probability chance for that to happen, and we do.
And yep, king of all scams. So back of Thieves Town, desert are the only places we haven't seen that are in logic.
Yeah, and it looks like MrAaronSnerd is going to go ahead and take a trip down, most likely to Kakariko Village, and do just that by going into the Thieves Town dungeon soon enough.
Yeah, it looks like Zethno is gonna skip Thieves Town, go on a tour of the Dark World. He has the mirror, so that makes Smiths easier. That puts K45 in logic, and it's easier to get to Purple Chest, which is also actually something.
Yeah, having mirror saves a lot of time in doing some of this stuff, but we did get a check on Lumberjack Ledge. It was only some trash, so we don't have to really worry about that situation being the thing. But we still need those boots because we still need to get the Zora flippers off the library ledge.
Yeah, I'm thinking boots in the back of Thieves Town would be a pretty great place. Because then we just run over to the library.
Yeah, that would make routing this out a little bit more cleaner compared to boots being in desert at this point, which I feel like there's a strong sense that it's there. It has to exist. Or, you know, the sea can be really mean and gives us the hammer, meaning that we have to go to Palace of Darkness and then look for it there. But then again, having a hammer helps out a lot more than I would think, because that will allow them to have the access to Palace of Darkness to finish that up to get the first red crystal, and then perhaps they'll go to Desert Palace a little bit and see if the luck from that turns out to be good.
Yeah. So here's the thing with Zethno's route quietly. There's a lot of out-of-logic stuff going on, which is fine. But he's going to end up in front of Desert, and it's a pendant. So if it's boots locked, you just leave and you never have to worry about it again.
Wait, Desert Palace is red crystal.
Oh, you're right, it is red crystal.
Yeah, they have to go through it.
Okay, well, if it's boots locked, then you didn't waste much time. Still. Purple chest is in logic, too.
There is our lantern.
Where was the shovel?
The shovel was in K45. That means flute has to be in desert.
Flute is either on desert or on the back.
That's kind of wild.
So there's a chance Zethno ends up with flute here.
So yeah, to trying to piece it all together, we found the mirror in Death Mountain, and that is locked behind Lantern. And Lantern was in the digging spot. So by way of elimination of being locked out of areas, the only way to get into Death Mountain is through the flute and activating it to have the bird carry you to Area 1, which is Death Mountain. Meaning that the flute has to be somewhere around the desert area, since that's where most of our runners have yet to check at all, which is kind of surprising when you think about it.
Plot twist: hammer could be in desert, and flute could be in pop.
Ooh. But yeah, desert has to open something up for our runners that will lead into either getting the flute outright, or getting the boots, which will lead to flippers, and then for some reason have that lead into the eventual key item to make all this logic. the flute.
Right, and knowing how Espeon routes, there's a pretty high chance he sends Zethno into desert, trying to avoid an exit.
And in this case, I thoroughly would agree with that play call to do that. As you could clearly, as you saw, Zethno's going into, he was about to go back into the portal, and then Espeon probably told him, go ahead and do Desert Palace right now, because that's where our next huge item will potentially be at.
Yeah, I can hear that conversation now. No, turn around.
And this is probably one of the, that's the reason why we have these mentor tournaments, because our more experienced veteran runners could definitely point something out to you that you would never ever think of doing, and that will allow you to pick up and understand how these routing play calls turn out to be.
I think Zethno has upgraded.
Yeah, the reason why people will do Desert Palace before Agena is, as what Cinaeth has described it, it's a long walk back out of the Agena's cave, and plus we can just dip in to check in Desert Palace thanks to the fact that we have Mirror. But yeah, it looks like Desert is Brutes Lock, so we're gonna have to go in, take a look at Agena, and then hopefully we will come across something. I hope we will get something.
There was nothing on Agena.
Oh wait, there's nothing on Agena. Oh no.
Yeah, it's the back of Thieves Town. That means MrAaronSnerd was on the right to something and just walked away from it.
That's somehow an even more painful outcome than I thought.
All right, so back of Thieves Town. Let's see if he makes the call. And actually, knowing Espeon, he's already on. There are very few people that know and understand the logic as well as Espeon. You know, hammer on blind and then something in the Thieves Town big chest would be pretty.
Yeah, some of our local denizens in chat are talking. Yeah, this would be good for Zeno to do. Going into Skull Woods, especially since you have the fire rod, means that you could finish it up and then take a look at the rest of it. Well, they already took the rest. Wait, did they check the Skull Woods, or was that MrAaronSnerd that did that?
That was MrAaronSnerd.
Oh, okay. So yeah, this will be a one trip.
Yeah, this will be a one trip. He can check pet. He already has one. So if it's a pet seed, then he already has a slight advantage on it.
Though, with the way this item loadout is, the only way for it to be a pet seed is if... Well, it can't be flute.
It can be.
Yeah, I don't... Yeah.
We need flute, we need hammer, boots. Boots could be...
Yeah, boots and flippers could be padlock. Like, Ped could have boots, and that will lead to flippers. But in order to get into Misery Mire...
Ice Palace is flipper lock.
Oh, okay, yeah, so that's flip. So
it could be the medallion for Misery Mire. No, that's a pendant. It's not a pet seed. It cannot be a pet seed. It can, however, still be a mega seed.
Right.
Well, that was a fun little talk through.
We did all that. We did all that brain power only to realize that Ped was dead to begin with.
Yeah, Ped has been dead since we got.
And MrAaronSnerd is going through coffee break room. We call this the coffee break room because if you can line yourself up properly with the switch tiles as a bomb goes off, you can get some iframes going, so you can just sit here and relax without having to worry about tiles doing actual damage to you.
All right, so Zethno going to his third dungeon clear. Although one of them is appended. And nothing in the basement.
That is rather unfortunate, but a check is a check, unfortunately. So we have to quell that thought of suspicion of last locationing these key items here.
It's the back of Thieves. There's something in the back of Thieves.
And with Zentho finishing up his Mothia fight, they're going to go ahead and take a look on the pedestal to see what item is there. But we already know Pet is dead at this point. But we are most likely going to take a look at we're definitely going to go into Thieves Town, and then we're going to get our answer there.
Was that the boots?
No, that was 10 arrows.
10 arrows. Okay, I read that wrong then. I thought it said tennis shoes.
Yeah, if it was boots locked, that means Flipper will be locked out. They'll be locked out of Flippers because that's what you need to get into Ice Palace.
Yeah, I was real confused for a second. I was like, did they roll the wrong seed? Is this beatable only? Yeah. So it's looking a lot like it might be a Pepsi. Because there's nothing in Skullwoods. Oh wait, no, there's Ether in Skullwoods, isn't there? Yeah.
Yeah, it was Ether.
Skullwoods. And we haven't. The only thing we haven't seen is the back of Thieves Town, which has either boots, hammer, or flute. I agree with Corvid. I think it's flute. The early swords suggest 3 swords. Very early suggest. I think flute in Thieves Town puts Aga into you find flute in Thieves Town and you just go to it, or you sequence break. One of the two.
In this scenario, I'll resort to some very, very huge degeneracy and went to would like bomb jump across the river in Dark World in order to get to Palace of Darkness at this point. I would not waste time in doing that. Well, I would not waste time into checking other things at this point. I would just go straight for it. But yeah, taking a look into the sound for flute. It looks like a.
So these are the things you know about Thieves Town. If you find boots, flute is flipper lock. And if you find hammer, then just about anything is open.
Well, boot. Well, if you do find boot, it doesn't necessarily mean flipper is the.
Well, yeah, I guess there's still the 2 boots.
Yeah, Bonk Rocks and King's Tomb. You can still do that, and we are going to check the back of cemetery thanks to MrAaronSnerd taking a quick look into there. Let's see what we come across. This is, of course, out of logic, so we're not gonna get anything unless that was like one of the huge major items, which would not make much sense because mirrors like lantern lock and lantern was in the digging spot, which required the mirror to begin with. Logic is hard.
It can be. Yeah, I'm agreeing with Chad over here. A, B, C, D.
Always be clearing dungeons.
Also, I feel like that death was partially purposeful. I don't think he meant to get hit the first time, but I'm pretty sure he was just like, screw it after that.
And both of our runners going into Thieves Town. One already did the front part. This is like they just have to do the rest. Meanwhile, the other has to go through the front part phases, which doesn't take really that long to do. But yeah, both of our runners being in Thieves Town mean that they're both going to find the huge big item that they're desperately looking for to finish this seed, and that will blow this seed either wide open or will cause our runners to like be in despair into trying to figure out where else do they need to go. Which in this case, I feel like if there's nothing here, actually no, there has to be something here, because I was about to say Aga 1C could not be in proper logic because of the lantern being locked behind the shovel, which was locked behind mirror, which was locked behind something else. So flute has to be somewhere around here.
Right. So I really do think we're gonna find flute in Thieves Town. If it's flute, it's an Agaseed. If it's boots, then if it's boot, it causes a lot of other problems. But if you find hammer in here, then you know the boots are going to be in pod, or yeah, on that side of the world, not necessarily in pod.
But yeah, they pulled up a shield up at the attic. That is not something that we want to see, especially another shield. We don't want another shield because that means the next few item checks could potentially give us the gigantic, huge yellow shield of despair and make our players lag and makes everyone happy. It makes me scream in disgust a little bit.
Yeah, but it makes Laser Bridge free. So if there's a key there that you can't skip, then it's not.
I suppose. There is our
and
flute,
there
though.
It is. So MrAaronSnerd gets the flute, and as soon as he kills Blind, he can mirror out and check, or activate the flute. So here's something else I want to point out. The small key cannot be on Blind, which means Blind is hammer right now. So anything you get off Blind is locked by the hammer.
Interesting.
But now you run into the situation of this more and more likely an accuracy with that food location. And Aaron gets his second crystal.
Wait, did they pick up all their items? Because I don't see a key after that dungeon is finished, so that's...
The key is locked in the big chest.
Okay.
That's why I'm saying blind.
Alright. So, I feel like with the flute, they're definitely going to immediately have to go into Misery Mire and take a quick look at the checks there. And with the fact that they got Mirror, it shouldn't take that long for them to find their next huge progression item. Or if it's the case, I feel like Misery Meyer will need to be it could potentially be cleared if one of the medallions is either the bomb. But well, actually, wait. Did Zenthos actually pick up the ether medallion? Okay, they did. All right.
Yeah, they did. They both got it.
But yeah, if there's nothing in the outside checks of this before this dungeon, it's definitely in Misery Meyer's dungeon for sure.
So at this point, I would be bomb jumping across the room. Wait, what was that medallion? I didn't see. What's the entrance to Misery Meyer? That was too fast, Mr. ALTTTPR. We're not at this level yet.
Another bottle.
Looks like it's Quake.
Okay, so that's locked out unless Checkerboard has our
I would be jumping across the river.
Hopefully Checkerboard Cave has our item. ₹20.
It's an agaseed.
Oh my goodness. Though, if our runners are pretty clever, and our mentors have probably advised them on this, they're probably going to plan to do the bomb jump. Anytime you can avoid an Aga 1 seed is anything that I would make use of.
Yeah. And they are both, it looks like they're both doing that. So it looks like Mr. ALTTTPR is going up to Helmonthia first. So he's making a little bit more out of this trip. That being said, Zethno does have a small advantage in the he's already
Well, it looks like they double backed.
And now they are moving in unison. Nope, different directions. Oh, has he not done the Village of Outcast checks?
You know, he probably forgot the brewery. No, he did.
It's Tick Kid.
Oh, okay. Okay, this makes sense now.
Nope. Purple chest. He's going for purple chest. Oh boy. Nope. What's he doing? Oh, okay.
K45. So it took a while for it to cool.
He doesn't have the lamp yet. So he doesn't know. But even still, logically, they should understand that this is probably an exit. Alright, so Zethno definitely has an edge at this point because he is on the right track going in the correct direction, and he has an extra crystal.
He's going, okay, I like this. Zenthos is going back in so he can refill on bombs, so just in case he runs out, well, trying to avoid running out to attempt the bomb jump that they're going to plan to do. Meanwhile, MrAaronSnerd has pulled up his lantern, and I feel like both the runner and the mentor themselves are just like going, oh my god, this seed, thanks, I hate it.
It's pretty rare to have an Aga required seed because but that is definitely an Aga required seed. Oh, a little bit early on that jump.
Yep.
Still a little bit early.
Make sure you get rid of the markers.
He's resetting his I think that's what he's doing right now. Yeah.
Oh, this is some splash deletion shenanigans. There we go.
Yeah. Whatever works, man.
I was like, wait a minute, why is he using the lantern? Oh wait, splash deletion. That's one of the more like not so very used tricks that you can do. And the only huge use for it to use it is like when you have to do crossing the river here or doing Zora's Domain and you want to get to the ledge as soon as possible.
Yeah, so what he did there was he used the lamp to reset all elevation values and reset the Insula table so that he could do a splash delete.
Man, Espeon is just, that has to be something Espeon fed the info to in order to do that. But yeah, being able to cross the river through here, brace this race wide open out of complete logic. Like, you know, screw that. Throw that in the trash bin. We're not doing logic here today. We're doing some speed running degeneracy.
Yeah. What is going on over?
Oh no. They're doing oh my god, more splash deletion shenanigans.
I'm not sure what the brick is for. I've not seen this setup before.
There it is. It's another way to do splash deletion because the brick counts as like an entity to take up the space for the splash. So all they just need to do is put two bombs down, throw the boomerang, and then that takes up all the needed slots for the splash and thus removes it. But yeah,
I've seen that before, but not with the brick before, because the red boomerang, the glitter also takes up some slot.
But yeah, we are some very rude boys today. But then again, I think this seed kind of deserves it.
So the question is, do we find hammer on pod or on?
I want to say on pod. If it's catfish, there's even more of a reason to do some splash deletion in order to cross this river. But yeah, it is really hilarious to see both runners in their own very little way destroy the logic even further.
Yeah, we have been out of logic so much this season. It's not like what is even the point of logic? Alright, so it's gonna be real tight if the hammer is on catfish. Oh, there we go. Hammer in pod. Bow.
Speaking of hammer. Thankfully, we didn't really need much to get to the bow, thanks to the fact that Uncle had the first one. It's just that the silver arrows that we got right now is just the icing on the cake, which was also on Death Mountain. So that's logically broken. Cinaeth flexing the what I like to call the ESP skills on calling where our item is today.
Yeah, but he has the advantage of being the restreamer. They already know. By the way, follow Cinaeth. He's restreaming this. And he's doing a great job.
I was gonna say he called it like 30 minutes ago or so. But yeah, do give our runners follow, as well as the mentors as well. They're doing a fantastic job showing the our runners a good trick or two, and by good trick or two I mean everything under the sun at this point.
Yeah, seeds like this are great learning opportunities. Just ignore the timer. Just like do whatever your mentor is telling you to. Pay attention to what they're saying and why they're telling you to do these things, because seeds like this are the reason that you learn so much, because we're barely in launch.
Yeah, if we were just fresh out the gate as far as speedrunning goes, and we started playing a seed of this nature, we would have already done AGA 1 already at this point.
Yeah, early on I would have AGA 1. As soon as I was like, well, I'm out of checks. And I would have checked everything out of logic, not... I was out of logic.
Here, MrAaronSnerd is going to pick up his hammer. We do get a cape in Dark Maze, so I guess that's a pretty nice bonus to dive into this. To answer your question, Cinaeth, I want to say no, but that's only based on my experience because I had a similar nature where during one of my runs for a tournament, I saw all the signs of, oh hey, you should go do AGA 1 right now, and I immediately went ahead and did it, only to find out if I didn't broke with the logic a little bit more, I would have gotten item that allowed me to go to Dark World without wasting so much time to do AGA. But again, the person I was running in against was they were like ranked 1 of the ladder for Link to the Past ladder matches for the season, so I could easily say like I was not going to survive that race.
I do have to say though that an early AGA play here, if you can do Dark AGA, because that is especially since they didn't have the Fire Rod for a Dark AGA play would get you the hammer super early, and you would just be able to move through the place without double checking all kinds of stuff. That being said, if you just did the splash delete early, you would get the same advantage.
Yeah. Though I was about to ask something like, if Lantern was buried in the dig spot, and to get to the dig spot with the shovel, you need to go to K45. Where was Flute again?
Flute was in the back of desert. Or I mean,
Okay, yeah. Okay.
So all the way down in the basement.
Yeah, that's all the way okay. Yeah, now I have to double check my logic thinking for a moment as we get the shield to bypass the laser bridge. Oh, pardon me. This seed is disgusting, by the way. I hate this seed already.
Yeah,
and we're all
fake for go mode.
And we're only an hour in.
So that's the 4th crystal. Is that right? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, the 4th crystal for Zethno. As he is done. Yeah, he's going up to oh no, he changed. I would be going to Turtle.
Yeah, I would have gone to Turtle Rock at this one as well, because you can, even though it's like usually that should be like the last thing you should. Oh, okay. No, this is an act of getting safeties. Getting blue potions is definitely something worth investing in right now in this seed, especially if you're going to go up to Turtle Rock with no half magic.
Yeah. I mean, at this point, we know that we can't get into Mire. Desert is boots locked. We can't get into any of the flipper lock. Well, we can get in ice. We can't get into swamp, and ice is out of logic and it's dependent, so there's no point in it. The best looking play right now is TR. It's 5 items and it's crystal, and you can clear it.
Yep. And as y'all said before, always be clearing dungeons. A, B, C, D.
And it looks like MrAaronSnerd is following suit. MrAaronSnerd, however, it is worth noting, he still has not killed Moth. He knows that there's nothing in Skullwoods because he's gotten both items.
Oh, okay.
He has not killed Mothia yet.
So yeah, he will take a little bit of extra time to go out the way to finish Mothula. But I feel like getting back into Skullwoods and then going to Mothia directly doesn't really take that long to do. I mean, sure, it's like a little bit more extra stuff that you have to do, but at this point, you just have to go up to here because you know that the rest of your items could potentially be in here, and it's a crystal dungeon, as you stated before.
Right. It's still worth noting though, because it is gonna take him probably 2 to 3 minutes to get to kill him, and then get back out. And Zethno is going into Turtle Rock, a full Bombos animation for MrAaronSnerd. And yes, Cinaeth, I agree. Dead rocks are freaking worst.
Oh, I was gonna mention how rude the Dead Rocks word is in though, but I was just gonna let everyone else just watch that and just make their own opinions of them.
Alright, so while we are waiting, I'm gonna give a shout out again to solastsummer and Filistea. They are doing a great job keeping track of everything. Why don't you go ahead and give them a follow?
MrAaronSnerd taking an unfortunate death there. Wait, no, did they pick up the item? I think they did they?
Zethno died on purpose.
Yeah, Zethno definitely did. I know that for sure.
He walked right into that. I don't think MrAaronSnerd got anything.
Okay, so yeah, it was an unfortunate death. Zethno just wanted the death ward.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense. You get a full magic, and you don't have to go back through the rumors.
But yeah, coming across they ended up finding half magic there, so they're definitely going to be feeling. Well, MrAaronSnerd's going to feel a little bit relieved about that because they didn't pick up any blue potions on their way here, which I don't know why you wouldn't. But then again, if you really, really want to gamble, that will be one of your decisions to do so. Skipping safeties over to save some more time and not have to worry about buying them, wasting time to do that.
And Zethno point out a couple things there. His menu is now so full that quick swap is less useful. Also, that trick where you stand on the brick, very, very handy against those change rooms, as they do monstrous amounts of damage, and they are both still in green. And they both still do not even have penalties.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Like, our runners have been so deep into this seed, and yet they have yet to come across not even the blue mail upgrade. And that is like, I'm kind of just sitting here kind of confused here. I think for a moment there, I thought we were still in like the hard item pool of the 2021 official tournament there. Like, good grief.
Yeah, this is not hard items. There is in fact armor somewhere in this seed, and it's kind of looking like it might be either in pendant dungeons that we cannot access currently, or freaking GT.
This seed is so rude.
This is not like, one, this seed's rude. 2, this is not an easy seed to make your way through as a beginning. Like, This is a great seed to have a mentor. That is, I agree. Seeds like this are great for mentors. One, it keeps you from being tilted if you have an unfortunate death, like MrAaronSnerd did early on this dungeon. But it also helps keep in mind the logic, and you can learn a lot from that kind of stuff. Cinaeth, I can roll a few if your hands get tired. I have been banned from several different places of rolling seeds, so. The last time I raced somebody, I was told about an hour and 40 minutes in, you're never rolling a seed again.
Looks like I was about to mention, but like, there is ways to manipulate mimics in a way by grabbing a hold to the wall, but you gotta make sure you're not pushing anything, and then using the directional pad to steer them in a place that will allow you to take a slash at them to finish them off. But there was absolutely nothing in Mimic Cave, so our dive continues to deepen as we look for boots and well, I was gonna say flippers for a moment, but no, we're just looking for boots at this point.
Quake.
And Quake, okay. I knew I forgot something. I just didn't know what it was.
Oh, zethno! That was not intentional.
That was an oopsie daisy, but that's okay though. They parked themselves outside of Mimic Cave, so they should be able to get back to that area in no time.
Right. Also, he got the chest open, so he can just walk.
Oh wait, Quake is for pendant. Misery Myers pendant again. Wow.
Oh, that's right. It is a pendant.
So yeah.
Weird. Man, this seed is all kinds of amazing.
Yeah.
So yeah, boots for go mode. That sucks.
The item that you want the most to be able to speed through this is the last item you're going to pick up. Go figure.
And zethno trying to use the trick to skiff the fire bars with the hookshot.
Yeah, very useful for dodging that to dodge and save yourself from the damage of it. Okay, yeah, at this point, I would not even bother to... Yep, there we go. Yeah, Xanthos is almost about to die, but we're going to take a safety exit out from here to allow us to not have to worry about restarting at the front. Well, not at the front, but at the very least in front of where Mimic Cave was at.
Notice what we did not find on Laser Fooch.
Oh, look, blue mail. Thanks, game. You really are thoughtful right now with your placement of items.
Hey, it's better than nothing going into.
True.
Trying to zethno takes another death. I do not think that was an attack.
Yeah, that was a oopsie daisy there, but that's okay though. They did make a safety exit out to the area, so they don't lose as much time. Meanwhile, MrAaronSnerd is on the second phase of Trinex, and with the sword, Temperature, it's gonna make quick work of it. It's dead already. I only blinked for a moment, and it's gone.
Yeah, he made pretty quick work of that turtle. That poor exploding turtle.
So there was no boots in there, by the way. Catfish most likely has our boots.
Catfish, hammer pegs. I can't think of anything else that's even involved.
Oh, Spike Cave. They have yet to explore Spike Cave yet.
Cave, okay.
And thanks to the fact that got full magic and at the very least a handful of hearts. Well, I wouldn't say a handful of hearts, but at the very least a row of hearts to work with. It feels like our runners will be able to do that without much issue.
Yeah, so he also has half magic and so this really isn't going to be much of a hindrance. And interesting choice, tape over pain, although I guess we'll... And that is go mode for MrAaronSnerd.
In 1 hour and 18 minutes and 32 seconds. They're going to immediately go to the library, and they're going to immediately get their flippers, and then they're going to finish up doing Swamp Palace, Skull Woods, as well as Desert Palace, and then they're going to go to the tower.
Alright, so with those two unfortunate deaths with zethno, this is going to be a tight run of GT. Just let's go over the logic real quick while we have a second. The seed wanted you to go directly into the dark, get the flute, so that you could out of Thieves' Town, so that you could go to the mountain, get the shovel, or I mean the mirror, so that you can get the shovel out of K45 and pick up the link. Do Agda, so that you can get the hammer, and then it wanted you to kill one.
The rudest, pretty rude, not gonna lie. And Zethnos, unfortunately, getting hit out of the blocks, gonna have to take a moment to spin in the tile prison room.
This was part of the advantage he had. He skipped this before, and he's doing it now.
Yeah, he's the fear of last locationing, and I think I can understand this kind of fear. Like, if the boots were here at all this time, that would be a huge uh-oh. But he's gonna come across it and then be like, well, shit, oops. Well, oops, I'm behind now because of this, but it's okay. At least they did it on their way to Spike Cave, and then they're gonna realize that they could have did Spike Cave to begin with.
Yeah, this actually gives MrAaronSnerd a slight edge. It's still gonna be a tight run up GT, but Zethno still has to go get the flippers before he can start clearing dungeons.
Which, thankfully enough, shouldn't take long, thanks to the fact that we do have flutes. Meanwhile, MrAaronSnerd just finished Mothula fight. So yeah, both of our runners are going to be going neck and neck at this point. It's just a matter of which dungeon they will do first. But I feel like at this point, they're going to definitely go ahead to Swamp Palace first. And then they're going to go ahead into Ice Palace, because Swamp Palace, you can just skip left side swamp. Since you're already in go mode, you don't really have to look for anything else anymore, especially now that you have blue mail. Yeah, with the fact that you got blue mail now, you could just go straight into Ganon's Tower, try to finish it up, and if you do come across another mail, then fantastic. And I think what is MrAaronSnerd doing? He doesn't need to be here.
Going into desert.
Oh, desert, right, duh.
He has the mirror. We got the set of logic. Oh man, the logic of this seat is a headache. The nice thing about this seed, though, is bug spawn. You literally have to open nothing.
Yeah.
And you already have the silvers and peppermint, so you're not even considering it. It looks like MrAaronSnerd is about a minute ahead. And that key dash looks...
I feel envious looking at that key dash.
Zethno doing things the way I do it. Just pump up the door. And MrAaronSnerd going in for... What is this? The sixth crystal? Yeah.
Yep. They're both tied 6-6, so
yeah.
they're just Snerd is a bit of ahead at this point. Down goes Landmos, and there is our crystal. Time to do some Swamp Palace.
Yep. A very quick Swamp Palace. It is not going to be long. Especially if they have the Red Cane, they can just dive her down their way through there. No left side, no extraneous checks, just burn straight. MrAaronSnerd currently exactly one boss ahead. Yeah, it could come down to the key. That is a very large possibility. If there's divergence and one person gets the key or the other, depending on the type of divergence, that definitely could affect it. This is a close race. Alright, MrAaronSnerd heading towards the back. I doubt we will see him open any chests.
If he does, then it's just for style points being super greedy like this, but yeah, I agree. Yeah, it will not make any sense anymore, especially with the loadout that you got right now.
And it looks like he'll be doing the diver down. Okay, he's doing it the opposite direction that I was expecting. Whatever works.
Yeah, by doing some slight sword slashes, well, sword buffering slashes, you can clip yourself into the between the Samora block and the ledge there, and that'll allow you to do the ledge jump to get into doing diver down. But the other way that I know definitely for sure is what Zentho is doing. You do it on the right side, and then you quickly jump in and out. And he even picked up the treasure chest while he was at it. That's funny.
And Zethno takes a very small lead.
Zethno, what are you doing? Don't pick up any more chests.
And he gave it away. They are a room apart at this point. Oh man, this is close. All right, once the crystal drops, I have no idea which crystal's going to drop. It's looking like MrAaronSnerd just because he got in there first. He's already taken some of those puffs. All right, once the crystal drops, there are 22 locations in Ganon's that the big key can be in. I want to see numbers in chat with everybody's guessing as soon as he catches that crystal. You're gonna have to wait for somebody to get the game going. So watch for the text.
Is our Saha bot on strike still though? That's all I meant to ask about.
Oh, well in that case, just start guessing. That's the crystal, MrAaronSnerd. Start guessing. There you go. Xylo's got the right.
I like to think it'll be chest number 14. Just a weird hunch.
I always go with. Although everybody's actually always rooting for Tyroom, so.
Well, of course, Tyroom is like the prime source for runner degeneracy. Like it's just, well, not runner degeneracy, seed degeneracy as far as this item placement location. Because good lord, it's like Tyroom it didn't even matter. Did you go through all the checks first as fast as you could at this point?
There are several different ways to. I want to see. Taking different portals into the dark. I like Zethno's way better because it is, however, 1 second faster to do it through the TR portal, as long as you don't get held up by devils.
And in 1 hour, and I'm gonna guess 31 minutes and 15 seconds. No, not 15, perhaps 19 seconds. We are going to have our first entry into Ganon's tower. Okay, it was, yeah, close. I was close.
You were off by that 1 second. You must have taken the same route as
First chest was some bombs. Second chest was a small key. We're gonna be needing that. We're gonna try to hold on as many small keys as we can. But more importantly, we do need two the moment we get a big key, because that will allow us to get into the rest of through the rest of the gauntlet without much issue.
That torch counts as 3. And he is going Hope Room and then full left. Probably going straight to Armos after that, assuming he doesn't find a key before then. And that is the butter sword. There was nothing in the swamp. Oh my god.
Delicious butter sword.
And it looks like Zethno will right. He would probably grab the key out of the warp pile room and then mirror back.
Nothing in the fire bars room. As we are, well, on the Zentho side, he is fast approaching onto the compass chest room. Is what I think they call that room, correct?
Yeah, that's compass chest, because that's, the compass is in this fourth chest in here.
We get a bug net?
The vanilla compass. I don't necessarily know if the compass is actually...
Oh, okay. Well, we did not come across our big key in the right side of the dungeon, so time to take a look to see if MrAaronSnerd is going to pick it up soon enough. And if not, then there's definitely going to be an entire room, which would be rather...
They're still armless.
Yeah, there's still well, after Armos. After Armos, then yeah, definitely tower room. But in Rando room, what do we get?
Nothing except a compass. Very important. Alright, so if this turns out to be invalid, we're going to have ourselves a race. Let's see, what number are we on? There's 4 chests left, so that puts us on 17.
It's worth noting that Aaron did not check right side yet, so there's 4 more.
Oh, you're right. Okay, so this will be 14. And Xylo agrees with me.
Thankfully, they have silvers, making this fight not much of a pain to deal with. There is our big key. 1 number off again.
Xylo, you win. Oh wait, I thought it was 15. Oh no, it was 16. I didn't count box. So yeah.
Yeah, looks like the only thing that could go wrong is MrAaronSnerd taking a death. But I feel like if you did a lot, so from what I've heard, from what I've been reading and hearing, MrAaronSnerd does a lot of no major glitches vanilla runs. Is that correct?
I'm not sure. I don't know much about either runner. I've seen zethno in a couple of races, but that's about it.
Oh, okay. But yeah, I feel like if you was grinding out no major glitches, you would definitely know a lot how to deal with the gauntlet rooms more than to plan to route the seed out.
That first gauntlet room, I just popped it.
They do have magic, so throwing out a fire rod shot or 2 can help out as well.
We are set up for a very fast game. 2 gold swords and silvers.
Nice queen triple kill for the Woods Ropes. And now for the encore performance. Gets it cleanly as well. Meanwhile, Zethno is starting their climb to the gauntlet. Here's hoping they can catch up in due time.
Yeah, MrAaronSnerd has quite an advantage because he found that big key pretty early. He's about halfway at what, half a gauntlet climb up. A little bit of trouble with those helmsaurs.
Yeah, those helmsaurs can be a huge pain. As we see, Zethno's taking a safety ferry along the way, which is not a bad idea to do in this situation. If you feel like things are really close, taking a ferry does not deter. Should not, like, you know, it's worth considering at the very least. Even if you are taking a little bit of time out of your way to do it, but you know, it can make a huge difference. Like, for all we know, MrAaronSnerd can end up dying to Ganon and Zethno as well, but the fact that he has a ferry would allow him to continue to fight.
Right. And it is also worth mentioning that a Ganon fall could make this very close. Although Zethno, as I saying that, a lot of trouble with this one stop.
This skeleton is just putting on the very Sanders.
If you walked back and forth around that would be
very, very rude. End up losing a lot more time from that compared to doing the fairy safety strat, to be honest, when you look at it that way.
Yeah, you can lose a lot of time in a room. And he's having trouble with Lambo too.
And here we are with Mr. Ganon. MrAaronSnerd is looking to close this out, doing some clean swipes. And at the moment I said that, he took some damage, but switching on the cape allows him to save him the issues of dealing with the fire bats as we get to stay to the third phase. Yeah, it looks like it's going to be closing out the seed very soon, unless we get an unfortunate death or a fall here.
And he gets the torch glitch, not that he gets. And he's one more arrow away. Ooh, I thought he was gonna get telefragged. Alright, and now the 1x3 bridge is all he needs. And that's it. Everybody, give it up for MrAaronSnerd. He has won the race with a 1:41.13.
Pretty impressive time given the nature of this seed. This seed was throwing every rude thing their way, and they managed to, with the help of their mentors, get through it just fine. I'm gonna take the time to let Zethno finish the race because it seems like they're continuing to go forward. So I'm gonna see how they fare now that it cleaned out the Mort fight, to see how they do in Aga 2 and the Ganon himself.
Yeah, he's pretty close. It's a good dash too.
Yeah, sometimes if you don't time it properly, you end up hitting a bumper, and that could just throw you off completely. These are the worst position for these Ganons. Okay, that one's pretty generous though. And that's a good triple right there.
Yeah.
And down goes Aga 2. On down the pit. It's worth knowing that he does have one blue potion and a fairy, so should he end up dying, he shouldn't have much issues getting back into the fight. And if he's all magic for whatever reason that may be, he has a safety measure to get through there. And I will be switching to the cape if I was you, mister. Or hook shot, you know, that can work too if you want to style on a little bit more. Though I don't know. Okay, there we go. Unless any more fire bats come their way, I wouldn't think there's anything else left to worry about.
Yeah. Gold Tor makes a real quick cannon effect.
They end up getting a double, and they're going to get the torch glitch as well. So yeah, the very same sort of pattern and nature that took a hit from a bat, but that's okay. That is the reason why they popped that blue potion, but they had a fairy in tow in case of that happening. But down goes Ganon for Zentho. Get your GGs out for Zentho the moment he crosses that bridge, as he finished with a time of 1 hour, 44 minutes, and 46 seconds. This is a pretty amazing race, not gonna lie, despite how this seed was.
This was a pretty amazing seed. Oh my god.
Hello.
All right, and we are joined with our winning team, MrAaronSnerd and vortexofdoom.
Hello.
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 And not too far behind is Zenthos and Espeon. Good work out there, GG's.
Yeah, GG's, guys.
GG's, everyone.
GG.
So, Espeon, how does it feel to once again mentor one of the worst seeds ever?
Not too bad.
Can I actually say this is the literal first time ever I have known double dipping Thieves Town. Like going back in, I was like, oh, cool, we're gonna get all 3 items because Blind Cell is our next progression. Like this is the first time I've ever actually like known that there were 3 items back there and I was gonna get them all because I had no other options. So that was a first.
Yeah, the way how this seed was just directing y'all to try to do Aga 1 was kind of hilarious. And both runners decided, like, I'm pretty sure all 4 of y'all agreed on just doing splash deletion to just say, no, we are not doing that today.
Absolutely.
I mean, this is just async 1 all over again.
It really was, yeah. Except there's way less incentive to like kern jump or splash delete early because like you don't have the lamp and it's like why head over there if the logic's not.
So we decided to just sequence break mountain. So we sequence broke mountain with hook shot and mitts. So we got lamp, and then lamp takes. Actually, did you pick up lamp? Or sorry, yeah, did
lamp?
you?
Yes, lamp was one of the last things we got.
Oh, you did get it.
We were doing like Cave 45 and Bombos tablet were our last 2 checks we had before.
Oh, gross. But yeah, if you go to mountain, you get mirror and paradox, and then you get Cave 45 pretty naturally on the route, and that is just immediately lamp.
So we did something kind of silly early on. We got mitts and had pearl already in Kakariko, And we just went straight into Dark World, and we did all of Smith Chain mirrorless. Like we like grabbed the Smith, came up and did the south half of CAC from the south, and then grabbed purple, because you never know when mirror is going to show up, and like it's like the best way to do Smith Chain mirrorless and fluteless, which is still a pretty terrible way to do it. But so we didn't have that pull down to Cave 45.
So you
the
did
same way.
escape first then?
Yeah, we started out. Escape was the first thing we did.
I've been defeated by Uncle Rat once again. Feels bad.
Yeah, that's made probably for very different routing for the purpose of the restream.
Yeah, I have to imagine if one of us did it later, I could imagine the route would be just a tad bit different.
Yeah, we did it a lot later.
We also
Okay.
did Eastern really late, considering that like we did CAC before Eastern, and if we'd done Eastern first, like Purple Chest would have routed directly into the desert check, and it would have been amazing.
Yep, that's what we did.
Yeah.
But we the book when we turned in Purple Chest, because that was our first trip to South Shore, so like that didn't feel all that bad, right? Because like how often do you get to say that? The only regret I think is that like if we would have had to decide to clear Thieves Town before picking up the Smith, like with half of CAC not done and just like none of Light World checked with 3 items in back. But that would have been the dream right there.
Yeah, so for quite a while, Zethno actually had a lead because
I can imagine. Yeah.
his routing was much more. I guess he was able to chain more checks in together.
Fluid is the way I'd describe it.
Fluid, yeah. That's actually a really good way to describe it. But early on, Aaron went into Thieves Town, and he was actually, unbeknownst to any of us, on the correct path, and then left. Because if he gets that fluid in there, like it's immediately like he can get to mountain, everything's in logic.
Mm-hmm.
His choices become much more ample, I guess.
But it's a gross food to get because you don't have mirror if you've been following the logic nicely. So you have to save and quit and walk back to Kakariko. We just mirrored out of Thieves and activated.
I mean,
no, I agree.
that
It's gross, and the logic
that
requiring
wouldn't
you
have been-
to take the flute and then come back and kill Blind later is even worse because Blind was hammerlocked.
Yeah, that it wouldn't have been the worst thing in the world. Like as we said, like we did Bottle Vendor, Blind Sut, and Well, and then went into Dark World.
Mhm.
So like we had the south half to do, so we were walking back anyway, which I don't know. It was Goomba's idea. I talked about it once, and I was like, "Man, this is the dream. Like we can do this." And Aaron was down.
That's
so
why.
we had some fun.
Yeah, that's a wacky route. But you absolutely cannot do that if you don't do escape start because you don't have Pearl, and you just get Pearl a lot later.
Yeah,
Right.
but I mean, like you guys had Hookshot way before we did, and Book, I assume as well. Like you probably did. Well, no, because Bo was in escape area.
Well, there's
too,
a question:
so.
where was Book? Because we got it, and I forgot where it was.
I assume it was in Eastern.
Eastern.
Given
Yeah, it was
Eastern first chest.
map chest of Eastern, I think.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
No, you're right. It was first chest because
Yeah, first chest going in.
Mario was map.
I was worried because I was keeping track of like just sequence break logic after we sequence broke to Mountain, and then Zethno just pulls out the book to go to Ether Tap one. I'm like, wait a second, when did we get that? And he says, I don't remember. So I was actually really scared it was on Mountain, and I just have to not know.
We ended up walking to desert before going back and doing like Thieves Town and stuff, which felt really, really bad at the time because like we'd already been to Agina with Purple Chest and then got the book right after. And then, but I think if we hadn't done that, we would have done Bombos into desert and then either had to like walk back or walk to Dark World again before we did the splash delete. So it kind of worked out that we dipped it first because then that made the decision obvious that we just like now we sequence break East Dark World. and kind of learned that setup on the fly. And did it really well. So props.
Hey, thank you. I mean, took a couple tries, but yeah, I was glad when I got it on the second try. I went, okay, just don't get hit by anything and we'll be fine.
And because we didn't kern jump, like we were feeling really behind for like the whole back half because of everything that was mentioned, right? So we skipped catfish. We did pyramid ledge, but we went straight into pod after.
Yeah, I mean, we skipped catfish.
We skipped catfish and Zora area completely.
Oh,
okay.
Yeah, we did fake flipper after hookshot because we had such stupid things left in logic. Like we had first chest desert, which we orphaned. We had blind cell, which we had passed up the opportunity to do already, and like so it's like, well, Zora's one of the few things we have left in logic, so let's just do the fake flipper, right? So
it sounds like you had kind of a rough route.
Yeah, it didn't. It was pretty efficient overall, but it just never quite paid off like we hoped it would.
Yeah, and that's just Rando.
Yeah, Rando's gonna Rando.
Yeah, Rando.
With stupid decisions.
Oh, when we had to decide between, it was like 3 things for. Oh, it was boots for go mode. It was like, oh, all of these suck.
Catfish, hammer pegs, and Spike Cave, I think were the only things that were left. I
mean, well, don't you just go to Spike Cave after TR?
Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
But like, it was like, well, what if we find Quake in Spike Cave, right? Do we do hammer pegs or do we just go to Meyer and like, yeah, so it was.
Yeah, that's funny. We never did hammer pegs either. So we did a lot of this, like, same checks in the end. Just in a completely different order.
Yeah. I don't think there's a way that you, like, realistically, like, do hammer pegs this year. Like, you'd have to.
Nah, getting over there is so hard because, like, you're gonna be clearing out all of West Dark World looking for hammer, and then you don't find it, so you have to go all the way to pod.
Like, unless in your first Dark World trip, you just sequence break pod immediately. Which, like, I could see you doing. Like, there's a world, but it was not gonna happen with the route we took. So,
I think I actually might have done that if we had boots, because then the North Dark World becomes so much better.
Yeah, that's very true. We did Graveyard Ledge before going back into Thieves, and then as we were doing it, I was like, oh wait, like it was because just in case hammer, and then I was like, oh wait, like blind cell is progression, which means that
you guys were really risk averse with that, huh?
Well, yeah, I mean, like we already walked there twice, right? And like it was like, well, we skipped it without hammer, and we have only a few things in logic, so it was like maybe if we'd done it our first trip there, like when we got purple chest, like that would have been a reasonable time to do it with 3 items in back, but just because like anything mirror.
Oh yeah, because you did this whole like early Village of Outcasts thing, you have to make this decision to skip it, which you probably make because you have like no equipment and it's scary.
Well, and the rest of the world open, right? Like Hammer.
Yeah.
South Shore. We put off the dip when we grabbed Smith, and then when we came back to turn in Smith and did the rest of CAC, we dipped Skullwoods and checked Bumper and did Thieves, front of Thieves.
Yeah, like we never really had to make this decision because we had mirror for all of our Dark World, so we actually decided to skip both Thieves Town and Skullwoods, hoping to get some more stuff in Hype Cave and the checks along the way.
Yeah.
So we just kind of did this whole, like, this big loop, and then we're like, okay, well, we didn't get anything. Now I guess we just go back to Thieves and Skullwoods.
Yeah, we did grab Smith and take that to Hype the first time. But, like, we got Hookshot really late was the big thing. Like, we got Hookshot and then did Fake Flipper and then Sequence Broke Mountain. But it was just the...
I don't even remember where Hookshot was.
Ice Rod Cave.
Oh, Ice Rod Cave.
It was like...
Oh, no.
So it was one of those things where it's like, well, I mean, we had Purple Chest. Oh, and since we had Purple Chest, of course, we go to Agina instead of Ice Rod Cave right away. So yeah, it was more efficient than it sounds like, but it was not.
Yeah, I think I have to watch
full
this
of
back
big payoffs.
because this sounds like a mess right now.
Yeah, it sounds like that route was completely bonkers, but yet it worked. Like it sounds
somehow
crazy,
it
but it worked out. Like it
somehow
worked out.
yeah.
Right?
Yeah, somehow it worked out.
It only worked because it took a lot of logic degeneracy.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
Those items were all in that. Like there was every time I found something, it was like, of course it's there because this seed's thrown everything in a dumb location.
Yeah, very true. Yeah, there was. I think that hookshot and ice rock caves is what it is, but then you start going into the route and you go, oh, that's a bad spot. That's a bad spot. Yeah, you just kind of got rough spots everywhere in this seed, and then having to, what is technically Aga required logically seed unless you splash delete. Yeah, it was something.
Yeah, Lamp was just so late in logic that it was never like, yes, I think sequence breaking East Dark World should be our next play.
Yeah, Lamp was behind Shovel, Mirror, Mitts, and Flute.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's right. Jeez.
Which is what gave you access to Aga too. Like Aga was behind all of that.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I don't think I have any further questions here, unless you do.
No, I don't either.
All right then. If that is all from our runners and mentors, we can go ahead and wrap this up.
Yeah.
All
Sounds
right.
good, guys. Thanks so much, by the way. Thank you for Restream and thank you for everything.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you for the fantastic performance from all four of you. Do give our runners a respective follow, as well as our mentors here today, doing a fantastic job of guiding our runners. Give a shout out to our trackers who do a wonderful job of tracking all the action here today. Filistea as well as solastsummer. Give another shout out to our buddy Restreamer who called out that French vanilla hammer. Well, I want to say it's a vanilla hammer. It wasn't in the big chest, so it wasn't French vanilla. Cinaeth,
Vanilla is hammer in the
enough.
big chest.
It was Bollock side.
Yeah, Bollock side. But do give a follow to Cinaeth for doing a fantastic job of restreaming this for us to watch, and do give a follow to my fellow commentator Blackwax, who not only helped me in the previous year Mentor tournament, but was along with me for the ride for this one. Thank you for being there with me.
Yeah, no problem. Don't forget to give Hub a follow as well. He did a great job here with me today.
And with that, I do believe that is all for today. If you are interested in looking at more speedrunning action for Link to the Past randomizer for the Mentor tournament, do go ahead and take a look at the mains website to look at the scheduling for it. But more importantly, if you like to look into the nitty-gritty details of how randomize is played and perhaps a discussion or two about it, take a look at GoMo's podcast main website. They have a podcast that basically talks about this game almost like every other week or so and provides a seed for everyone to run to take a shot at.
And if you're interested in that, they also have a Discord. Link is in the chat.
And with that, I am EsperHubb along with Blackwax. This has been GoMo's podcast Mentor 2021 tournament. Thank you very much for watching. Have a good night.
Peace out.